let's learn how to find position based on latitude and longitude. The grid line pattern on the chart is called a graticule. It is made up of meridians and parallels. The parallels are graduated in minutes of longitude, and the meridians are graduated in minutes of latitude. Using this scale, we can measure position based on longitude and latitude. The prime meridian equals 0, and this goes to 180 degrees longitude. The equator equals 0, and we can measure up to 90 degrees latitude. Think back to the properties of the maps. Remember that each meridian is the same distance apart, making it possible to subdivide the parallels into minutes equating to 1 nautical mile. So now let's take a look at a practical example of finding latitude and longitude. So using your Calgary VNC, southeast of Calgary we're going to find the town of Brooks, and just south of Brooks we're going to find the Lake Newell Reservoir. And let's assume we have a cabin located right here at the north end of the reservoir. And we want to find coordinates that we can plug into our GPS so that when we fly, we can put that in there so that we can fly and navigate over it and take some pictures. So what we're going to do is we're just going to lay things out here just to give you some reference on where to start. So we're just going to come down south of there here. We're going to take a look at this line here and this line here, and we see some numbers. So these lines are the meridians, and we see this one is the 112 degree meridian, and back here this is the 111 30-degree minute. So each of these tick marks is 1 minute. So there's 30 of them between these two lines. So when we come back up here and we want to find the east-west position of our coordinate, we can start here on the 112 degree line and we can work backwards. So we need to subtract 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 minutes. So starting at 60, subtracting 5, we end up with 55. So this means that our longitude is 111 degrees and 55 minutes. Now working north-south is the same way. And we see this line here runs right through our reference or our point here where we are saying our cabin is, but we don't see any marking on there as to what number that is. So we can do a few things. We can scroll over here and try to find one. And there we find 50 degrees, 30 minutes. So that's one easy way of doing it. Or what we can do from here is work the other way, and we can come down this way to find the next line, which is here 50 degrees, and then we can count up each minute from there. So we've determined that this is the 50 degree, 30 minute line, and this is not just a line, it's a parallel. And so what we've determined here now is we've got 50 degrees, 30 degrees of 30 minutes of latitude, and 111 degrees, 55 minutes of longitude. So the way we would say that is we would say north, 50 degrees and 30 minutes, and west, 111 degrees and 55 minutes. And that north refers to north of the equator, and west is west of the prime meridian. So now let's reverse engineer this and start with coordinates and find what is at those coordinates. So first, let's say our latitude is north 50 degrees and 45 minutes, and our longitude is west 112 degrees and 5 minutes. So we know that this line here is our 112 degree line, and because it's 112 and 5 minutes, we know we need to go west. And then we also know that because we're starting at 50 degrees and 45 minutes, that we need to go north of the 50 degree 30 minute line. So we need to go north of this line and west of this line. So we're going to be working up in this area here. So we'll start at the bottom here with the 50 degree 45. So 50 degree 30 minute line, and we need to go up to 45. So we'll count up, here's 5. So that would put us at 35. Then we go 40 and 45. So then we can, this is one of our lines here that we're going to be looking at. So we know north-south where we should be. Now we need to figure out east-west. Well, this is the 112-degree meridian. So we're just going to come up here so that we can count the ticks west. And we need 5 of them because we're looking for 112 degrees and 5 minutes. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It means this line here. So when we scroll down and we intersect those 2 lines, we find the town of Rosemary. So it really doesn't get much more difficult than that. Just remembering a few key points, that each of these ticks is worth 1 minute. Remember to look for the large lines and then the references of the degrees. And also remember which way you're working. So, if you're on which side of the line are you on? Are you maintaining 51 or are you going back to 50? So just keep those in mind. And if you kind of get stuck, just find those references. So take a look at the practice examples and try some out for yourself.